Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today's one is about round 1 of Super Champs, but this time in a D-Max. So last season was in a Sodi, so we've gone a step up and we've jumped into the D-Maxes. So it is quite a big step up because the karts are completely different to the Sodis, the absolute boats that they were. These D-Maxes are, seem to be a little bit more nimble, kind of listen to you, like you can chuck it in, it does what you want it to do. Whereas the Sodis are just like proper boats and they just do not turn in. So it's quite a big difference. So the main objective of today is getting used to the karts themselves and getting some decent racecraft under the belt. Hopefully it should be good. But yeah, and hopefully we'll get some reasonable results. I'm not really expecting too much today because as it is the first time racing these karts in this sort of race format, there are some quick drivers there, so it will definitely be a challenge to get a good result. But as long as I'm not lost, I'll be happy with it, I think. Anything, I don't know what the aim is really for today, but I'd like to think maybe top 8, hopefully. Somewhere around there, I'd be happy with. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully it is some good, clean racing, and hopefully it all goes well. So I will see you guys at the track. So, just going out onto the track. So this is actually for the final, because I didn't end up recording the practice quali and sprint race. The sprint race, I must say, was a little bit of a mess. The start was absolutely hectic. Everyone just loading into the back of each other, just everyone all over the place. So this time, we're hoping for a little bit more of a clean start. As you may have noticed if you've watched the previous videos, I have got a new camera. So we've got a fancy new snazzy camera that's got some good quality. So it does look a lot better and it's got a wide view. So you can see a lot more around you. So that is definitely a positive. So yeah, the camera itself looks great, like the quality of it. But that's not what we're here for. So let's get this race underway. So we're just gridding up at the moment, so we're just having a little bit of a warm-up, as much as we could get done, as much heat we could get into the tyres, we've tried to do. Let's see how the start of the race goes. The tyres are quite cold because we've been sitting in the pit lane for quite a while, and the karts had been sitting whilst the Sodi drivers were doing their races as well. So the tyres are quite cold, and there was not really much time to warm the tyres up. It wasn't really like a formation lap as such. It's kind of like half a lap. But I'll stop talking as the lights get underway, and it is a green flag. We get a decent start. The car picks up quite nicely. The guy on the left starts turning into us. Don't really have much space to avoid the grass, but we managed to get out of it pretty unscathed. Then we go down the inside here. We made our way through quite a few drivers. See if we can get our nose in there. Just didn't work out for us. This guy comes out a little bit wide, gives us a bit of a nudge, but it actually gives us a bit of an advantage. Managed to cut back through, then go for a move here, then get rammed up the back, get absolutely slammed into, which actually kind of helps me out a little bit maybe. Get down the inside of the guy ahead now, just didn't make the move stick. But as the race carries on, we'll just try and keep with this top 3. Obviously, the main objective is to get a podium. And bearing in mind we started in 9th and now we're in 4th within the first lap, I will definitely take that as a positive. So we're still kind of trying to learn the track. There, you can see, very wide. That was definitely not the most optimal line. But there's still things to improve, as you'll be able to see throughout the remainder of the race. But just kind of needed to get to grips with the track and the karts, because I've only driven it once in these karts before. So we just need to find braking points, turning points, etc. All that sort of malarkey. So yeah, that was the main objective of today, was to get more used to the karts and the track. But a good result is definitely a bonus. So we'll try our best to make our way up the field. But a lot of times going onto this main straight, I kept bogging down. I think I went too fast into the corner and just messed up the exit, whereas the drivers in front kind of nailed it and just kept pulling away each lap. Going into turn 2 there, I was actually pretty decent for this race going into turn 2, and I kind of got it hooked up there sometimes. It's kind of hit or miss. Like some laps I get it right, some laps I get it wrong, some laps I get it wrong, so it was just kind of trying to get consistent and stuff. But so far it's not going too bad. We can see we've caught up with the driver ahead in P3. So we're going to try and make a move somewhere, hopefully. We're kind of just sitting back hoping for the top 3 to have a bit of a battle and open up a window for us to go through. So we're kind of just sitting there, just waiting for an opportunity to present itself, really. I hit the curb there, completely unsettled the car. Definitely not the most optimal line, but I actually took turn 2 quite nicely there. Like I said, like the lap before, turn 2 was my strong point throughout the day, really. So I know I've got one part of the track fairly nailed. Did that quite nicely around there. It's quite a tricky corner to get right. It's quite a technical one. It's got a bit of camber on it. It's a bit weird that corner. So it did take quite a long time to get right. And again with that, it's kind of hit or miss. Like some laps would be good, some laps not so good. So it's just like getting the consistency is the main part of this. But we're kind of keeping a reasonable gap between me and third ahead, and the top 3 are properly like having a good battle. I think P2's just gone for the move for first and managed to get past first. So now we're behind Finn Irons. He's a nice lad. He's a great racer as well. He was very quick today. Kind of went for a half send, which obviously didn't work out, as you can see. I think you kind of just got to send it or not. Whereas I kind of went in the middle and I kind of just didn't really make my mind up. So definitely need to learn a bit more racecraft in these karts, because I was just so scared of locking up and spinning it the whole time. I kind of just went too careful on the brakes sometimes, especially going for moves and stuff. I just went really sort of tender going into the corner, which is definitely something I need to improve on. But now I know where to improve for next round, which is actually still in September, so it's not actually too far away. But yeah, just need to try and learn the track as best we can for round 2, because it's not too far away. So need to get to grips with the track and the karts, and get some decent racecraft, and hopefully round 2 goes nicely. But I'm falling back a little bit now. You can see where some of the mistakes are being made, and where I'm losing time. Like this last corner, like I said earlier, I just could not get that corner hooked up. And I just kept bogging down on the exit and just could not keep up with the top 3. So I think next time I'm going to try going slower and then get a faster exit. Hopefully that works a little bit better. But you can see the top 2 fighting now, and then Finn manages to see a window and they go 3 wide, nearly 2 wide now. I'm going to try and see if there's any opportunity for me to get past. I actually hit the back of that driver's car, which does slow me down a little bit, but I'm still trying to look for a little opportunity to sneak down the inside or the outside or wherever to make a move, to get past some of these drivers. Just trying to see where I can make a move, and this is a good opportunity when I'm in a slipstream. I managed to get down the inside. There's not enough time for the driver in front to defend. I'll just kind of force my way through going into turn 1. So that is P3. So I'm back into P3. Now I'm just going to try and hold on to this. But then the guy behind managed to get switched back here. Does seem like a good place to do it. Oh no, he doesn't. I managed to fend it off. And he's gone down the inside still. That was a brave move, and he's managed to get it done very nicely. Pretty much no contact. So very nice move from that guy. Credit to him, to be fair. There were some proper quick, good drivers out there today, like especially the guy in front. So do need to learn a few bits from them to try and get a bit quicker. I'm not purposely trying to film my crotch, because I'm not entirely sure everyone wants to see that, but it's the human DRS, okay? Human DRS makes a huge difference, whether you believe that or not. But personally, I definitely think it does. I actually took turn 4 quite nicely there. Or was that? No, that's turn 3, sorry. and going into turn 4 now. Turn 4 is a bit of a tricky corner, like I said before. I actually took it quite nicely there though. I think throughout the race, I did begin to get more confident and get better at the braking points and turning points. There were still quite a few places where I'd make mistakes, which is fairly understandable, to be fair. Bearing in mind it's the first time properly racing these karts at this track, so I'm bound to make mistakes in some places, so that's to be expected. But I'm getting a little bit more consistent as the laps go on, so that's definitely good to see. Might have clawed in third a little bit there, but then again losing the time on the exit. Just need to get the exits hooked up. I just keep losing so much time on the exits, and that's I think where most of the time I lost went. I think everywhere else, like quite a few of the corners I could keep up, and maybe even I was quicker than them. It was mainly just the exits that I just kept messing up, that I could just not get perfect, and I could just not keep up with them. Like going down the main straight, obviously you need a good run because it is quite a long straight down straight at Sandown. So definitely need a good run, and just like the shoddy exits out of the last turn are definitely not going to help that. So that is definitely the key point that I need to remember for next time and try and get better. Don't know who that is in front. Oh, Finn gets a little bit of contact from the driver in the white suit there. Still me at the back, just trying to see if there's any opportunities presenting themselves. Just trying to have a look to see if there's any mistakes from the drivers ahead, which is quite likely when they're battling like this. So Finn goes down the inside again. Nice move, to be fair. He doesn't manage to stick it, but if it did work, that would have been a very nice move. I'm trying to just get in a slipstream because top three are all in the slipstream of each other, and a slipstream can be quite powerful because it was actually quite windy today. So the slipstream is rather powerful going down the main straight. But I managed to hook it up quite nicely. I get quite close to the back of Finn's car. And very nearly going to the back of him there. The braking was actually fairly on point around there. Finn down the inside again. Finn was absolutely ruthless. And that presents me an opportunity to go down the inside of the driver in the white suit. Can I manage to hold on to it? I can. Then I get past him. Lovely move done. Credit to Finn for helping me with that one. But managed to get it done pretty clean, and all was well. Don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep this driver behind me for, but we'll try our best, obviously, because it's the podium positions. Obviously don't want to lose that, but I've got a feeling he's on my outside, so he might get switched back. Is he going to get it? He is. So he's on the inside. Is there? Oh, I do defend actually. Okay, I defend him off. Okay, I keep him behind for one more lap. Let's hope that's more than just one lap. Let's hope, but not too sure. I can't really remember. This corner was a very difficult one. It's quite scary getting quite like that much speed up to that corner because it's quite a sharp braking point. Absolutely messed up the entry to the last turn there, so I had to go defensive by the looks of it. Let's keep him behind, but it wasn't actually that defensive. I think I came out pretty unscathed. That wasn't the most brilliant corner, I must say. Then I'll defend going into turn 2, but he still manages to go around the outside. Can I keep it? Try and keep it down the inside, but he gets a lovely switchback. Fair play to him. Lovely move. Can he hold on to it? I assume he can because he is on the inside for turn 4 now, which is obviously where you want to be, and he has managed to hold on to it. But I've got a decent run going up to this little hairpin sort of corner, but think better of it. I think just stay behind him, try and follow his lines, catch back up to the top 2 because they have escaped whilst me and this guy have been battling. So just try and catch up to them and see how it goes. I think I was getting a bit fed up with the exit speed. I don't know if it was me or if it was the car or whatever. I was just getting quite frustrated with the exit speed and stuff. So it was a bit annoying, and you could see me waving my arms around, so I could tell I was getting a little bit frustrated, but you know, it's all part of racing. You can't really have a race without frustration, to be honest. But we'll keep soldiering on and see how it goes. still quite far back. We're losing quite a lot of time, but there's some corners where I gain and some corners where I lose. So I got a little bit closer to him there, but again, I feel like I'm going to probably lose a bit of time going onto the main straight. Yeah, just you can see where he pulls away. So, I actually took turn 1 quite nicely. Gained a little bit of time around there, going into turn 2. Turn 2, I kind of nailed the braking point, so I kind of kept gaining on the carts ahead, which was very nice to see. I was quite confident with that corner. Just looking back there to see if anyone's close. I think at this point there was someone behind me, probably about 5 or 6 kart lengths behind, so I didn't really have to worry about him too much unless I started battling. So I just needed to bear that in mind for the foreseeable. But you can see the top 3 have all got quite close to each other again. So hopefully they can start battling and slow each other down and give me an opportunity to try and sneak through at some point. We'll see. Took turn 1 quite nicely again. It's pretty like, it's kind of like I go quicker, they go quicker, I go quicker, they go quicker. So it's kind of just back and forth really. But I think Finn got a bad exit. Now it's 3 wide going into turn 4, which you don't really want to do. But Finn has come out worse by the looks of it. And I managed to find a window down the inside. That was a lovely move. Down the inside, that's two overtakes in 1 corner. That is lovely. That is beautiful, that move there. So down the inside I went. And now I'm in P2, trying to close down that gap to P1. He has managed to pull away a decent gap now. Even that little correction coming out the last turn there has cost me quite a lot of straight line speed. So I definitely need to get last turn right. But again, it's just learning the track as it goes. But again, turn 2, gaining decent amount of time on first place. Messed that up. Got a bit of lift off oversteer by the looks of it, something like that. Don't know why I was lifting off there, to be honest. So maybe it wasn't, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm just waffling at this point. But just trying to keep up with P1. But this guy is proper quick. He was there last season doing D-Maxes, and when I was watching him, because we were in the Solis last season, obviously, when we were watching him, he was proper quick. Along with like Charlie Foster and names that you might have heard of before. So it was quite nice to see that I could kind of keep with him, because it gave me a little bit of confidence, sort of saying, oh, I've got decent pace, it's not too bad. But there is still quite a lot of learning to get done. But yeah, we'll see how it goes for the rest of the race. Not entirely sure how much longer of the race we've got, probably about 10-15 minutes. It was a fairly long race. It was a 25-minute race, so there was a lot of commentary to get done. So if you guys are getting fed up of me talking, then please comment that below, and I will try and stop talking as much for future videos, because I am kind of like annoying myself with the amount of talking I'm doing. But anyway, this is the bit where I'm getting annoyed. I'll just keep waffling about random stuff. But going around turn 2, no, turn 3. Again, kind of, I started getting it better as the race went on, just not spot on. So that's another little bit where I need to learn. But overall, the lap times I think were going down. It was a bit annoying that the screen on the kart wasn't working, so I couldn't see lap times or anything. But to be honest, probably for the best, because the semi-final, the screen was working. I just kept looking at it. It was kind of distracting me, which was a bit annoying. But yeah, I kind of need to learn not to do that. But I have gone very wide there. I'm assuming Finn's going to get... Yeah, Finn goes down the inside going into turn 2. Left the door open for him, really. He's saying work together. I agree with that. Try and work our way to the front of the field. Try and catch back up to P1, because he has got a very reasonable gap now. Managed to get that corner very nicely. I'd lose... Oh my god, I can't speak. I lost a little bit of time coming out of the exit there, but not too much, really. Lock up there, rear lock up, going into the hairpin wasn't the most ideal thing, but again, things that we need to learn for next time. think I do need to brake a lot earlier and then turn in instead of braking as late as I do, because I do brake quite late, which I think is affecting some of the exit speeds. So definitely need to bear that in mind for next round. Got hit from behind there, from the driver behind. Well, you see that I'm not particularly happy with it. I think I get hit here as well. Yeah, hit again from behind, which I wasn't particularly happy with. Like, I think in my helmet I was using some words that I shouldn't have been using, but yeah, it was a little bit frustrating. But I think it does get past me eventually anyway. But obviously try and keep him behind for as long as possible, because this is third position we're trying to hold on to. Obviously you want to stay on the podium, of course, because you want a nice trophy, don't you? So yeah, but managing to stay with Finn reasonably well. Apart from that was not ideal. But I've kind of maintained a gap to be kind of the same throughout, to be honest. It's been fairly similar. So hopefully we can just either keep the gap the same, like not lose him, or preferably gain. Again, a lock-up going into the hairpin there. Just, I need to learn the braking point for that corner. It's a very tricky corner to get right. It is a little bit elevated, I think it's going down a downhill bit. And you get a lot of speed coming up to that corner. So scrubbing it off is quite a challenge sometimes. Like, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the wet. There was threats of rain before this weekend, but luckily there wasn't any. Although, I mean, the rain probably would have made it a little bit interesting, but I don't know. I've never driven a two-stroke in the rain before, so it would be quite an experience, and probably wouldn't be very quick. Would have made it very interesting, but also saved us from getting wet. I mean, I did buy a wetsuit actually for this weekend, which I didn't use because it wasn't raining, obviously. But yeah, it was quite nice that it wasn't raining, so I can kind of get to grips with the track whilst it's dry, instead of having to learn a completely new thing over again. So it was quite nice. It was dry. It was kind of optimal for karting. It was a fairly cold sort of morning. Wasn't freezing, so you weren't getting like frostbite on your fingers. But it wasn't really hot, so the tyres were overheating. It was kind of just right, really. Kind of optimal for karting, for the engines to run better and tyres not to overheat all the time. I think I just kept sort of stressing about Finn in front, where I'd brake late and then I'd catch up to him quite quickly. So it was like, oh god, I'm going to go into the back of Finn. So I kind of stomped on the brakes a bit too hard, I think, harder than I should have done, and it just caused so many mistakes. You can see then what was P4 go for a move on me, so now I'm demoted to P4. He's saying work together, and I kind of do agree with it, because I couldn't really keep up with. Well, I kept up with Finn, just couldn't catch up to him. So I'm going to try and use this kid in front of me to follow along and catch back up to Finn, and hopefully it goes okay. Again, you can see how much I lost coming out that last turn. I just needed to stay in a slipstream, but I just could not do it. It was infuriating over time, I must say. But again, losing the rear a little bit. There was a lot of oversteer in turn one. There was a bit of oversteer there as well. I think at this point, when I said the tyres weren't overheating, I think they did overheat to a certain extent. Because I think towards the end, the tyres did start getting quite hot. And you could see where you'd lose grip and get oversteer and understeer here and there. The understeer wasn't too bad. The kart felt really nice today. Handling wise, felt pretty nice. The exit speed, I don't know if that was me or if it was the kart or if it was a bit of both. Because it didn't feel like it had the most pokey, like, lower end. So I think it was the kart and me both not performing to the highest standard, which is a bit annoying. but I can't really complain. The car, other than that, was brilliant, and it was the car that I had for the rest of the day. Can see P3 making a bit of a mistake there. I think about going for a really late lunge, but I don't. He makes a little bit of contact with me there. Can I try and find a way through? Do I go for a move there? I think I tried to trick him into thinking I was going to go for a move. I was too far back realistically to make the move, so didn't go for it there. We thought, let's just think of a better option, see if there's an opportunity that presents itself. Now, I think earlier on in the race, P3, the driver ahead, did actually get a penalty. So if he has got a penalty, then that means I have been promoted to third, but we don't know yet. I'm not entirely sure. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the case. So yeah, because I mean, if he's got a penalty and I don't actually need to overtake him, then all is well. All is well. I don't really have to make much of an effort. But at this point, I did not know if he had a penalty or not, so I was still trying to fight my way closer to him, try and get as close as I can to him. I think this is where we came across some back markers. So the Daytona crew decided not to use any blue flags, which was rather irritating, because you can see the gap from me and third now, and then when I get past this guy, it means I screw up the exit coming out of turn 3. So then that means I've got a big gap between me and third now. So it is clear that the back markers have slowed me down quite a lot. And the blue flags just need to be a part of the race, because it's just so infuriating when you're the faster car behind and there's like people that are slower and just do not get out of the way. This guy was alright. I mean, I was catching up to him corner by corner, but luckily I got to him on the straight and didn't really lose too much time and he let me go. But still I had to kind of mess up my line for turn 1, which is a bit annoying. So I'm a reasonable gap behind P3 now, which I'm not sure if I can get back. I mean, I'm not too far behind until I made that mistake. That was not brilliant. As you can see, I'm a little bit fed up with that, putting my head in the sky. Just went too wide and went over some plastic bit, which just throws the back of the car up completely. It is not an enjoyable experience, I must say. It's not the most like luxury sort of cushioned landing, as you can imagine in a go-kart. So yeah, I think this is the checkered flag. It is. So across the line we finished P4, but P3 did actually get a penalty. So we got promoted to P3. So we got a little bonus podium on the first race of the season. So that is a lovely little bonus. Good way to start the season. So now we're third in the championship. So very, very ideal to start the championship this way. Hopefully it can carry on going like this. I think now that I've learned a bit more about the track, I've got the pace. I've got more pace than I did for quali, because I qualied P9, then the semi-final started P9, finished P9, and then that meant I started P9 for the final. But I think I could probably get quicker, so can get a better quali time, and then throughout the day hopefully just get some better results. I mean, P3 on debut in a D-Max for the Super Champs, I am ecstatic with. I am so happy with that. So yeah, it was a great day. Good racing. There was a little bit of contact here and there, but overall it was a very good day, very good racing, and thank you to Daytona for letting this happen. Yeah, it was a good day. P3, good points for the championship, and yeah, very enjoyable experience. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video somewhat. It was a lot of talking, so I do apologise for that. If you want me to just shut up and just show the video of the racing, then please let me know and comment down below. Hopefully it wasn't too boring to watch if you made it this far, and if you have made it this far, then thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.